Good morning, everyone, and happy Saturday. My name is Callie, and this is another weekend of Clarinets, Cats, and Coffee. Thank you to everybody who has already signed up for my new online course, Finger Speed Mini Course Level 1. Everybody who signs up for the mini course is eligible to attend any of my studio masterclasses. You get to sign up for one. It's right there in the module and you can sign up for it. You can request to play, you can observe, you can ask questions, but it's a great opportunity to get some real life feedback from me. In addition, I still have my channel membership and my Patreon here. You get a special discount on mini courses at Callie's Clarinet Academy and lots of other cool new perks. So be sure to go check it out. I have definitely leveled up. In today's video, we are going to talk about turns. I get a lot of questions. Students come to me and they say, what's this thing? How do I do this? What's the rule? And so I thought I would make a video about 5 of the most common turns that you will see in clarinet music and real musical examples where you would play it. The first one, the simplest and probably the most common kind of turn, is a half note followed by the turn. So what happens here is you turn the half note into a dotted quarter note, and then you follow it with the 4 notes of the turn. The notes of a turn consist of the note above the previous note, right? So the turn is always based on the previous note. The note above, back to the note below, and back to the note. So I'll show you the example from Rose Etude number 5. So we've got this G, and we're going to an A. The notes of the turn are based on the G. So you start with your G and you hold it for a dotted quarter. And you go to the note above, which is an A, back to the G, which is a G, down to an F sharp, which is then the key signature, and then back to the G, and then you go up to the A. And that's it, okay? So that is the first kind of turn. You don't change anything, you just play the notes as they are in the key signature, and this is the rhythmic value that it gets. The second turn that you'll see is very similar, however, there's a little sharp added to the bottom of the turn. You can find this in the Adagio section of the Weber Concertino. So we've got a D followed by a turn with the little sharp symbol right underneath the turn. That means that the lower note in the turn is sharp. So instead of playing a C natural, you're going to play a C sharp. Okay, so this is how it sounds with the C sharp. I'll start the measure before. The third one is also in the Weber Concertino. This is really common and a lot of people get confused by this one. It's a dotted quarter note followed by an 8th note with a turn in between. And so it sounds very silly if you try to do all 4 notes in the middle of the beat. And so what you do is you turn the first 3 notes of the turn into triplet 16th notes. Place them on the and of beat 1. On beat 2 is the last note of the turn and you play an 8th note, and then you play the following 8th note. So it ends up sounding very graceful, and it's just a fun little ornament in between and not just a whole hot mess of notes. So did you catch that? So that's how you play that one, okay? So that's the rhythmic value of a turn that's situated in between a dotted quarter and an 8th note. And the last one that I'm going to talk about here today is from the Mozart Quintet. And this is something that everybody needs to know how to do because, you know, this is a treasured piece of music in clarinet repertoire, okay? And so that's when you have a turn situated in between a dotted 8th note and a 16th note. So we're going to just pick the little passage here at B. There is a misprint in my part. There's supposed to be a sharp on the lower part of this first turn here, so just bear with me there. But the way the rhythm is supposed to be executed is the first 3 notes of the turn are 32nd note triplets on the second 16th note of the beat. The last note of the turn is a 16th note, and then you get out of it by playing the next 16th note. So and so the part that trips everybody up is 1 line lower. So the trick here is to subdivide in 8th notes. 1 and 2. So if you subdivide in 8th notes, everything will land exactly where it's supposed to be. So those are the most common turns that you're going to run into in clarinet music. There are a handful of others. If you have the Longinus method, it's in book 2, part 1. Okay, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, a good week next week, and as always, happy practicing.